In this video, let's talk about LeSean Shady McCoy and his recent lovely take that said Eric Bieniemy is going to get exposed during his time in Washington, but in saying that, he then proceeded to get roasted by football players aplenty. So let's talk about it. But first, how about those?
I'm not sure if he has what it takes to get it done there.
Break this down.
Honest.
All right, let's get right into this video. LeSean McCoy recently shared publicly and openly again about his disdain, well, sort of, for Eric Bieniemy. And this time, he said that Eric Bieniemy basically did nothing during his time in Kansas City, especially when he was there as a running back, and Eric Bieniemy didn't do anything during the meetings, just yelled at players at practice and cussed them out. Then what else? Called plays. Not really, just kidding. April freaking Fools. Andy Reid called plays, and EB was just a mouthpiece of what Andy Reid said to the players. He basically just made sure to paint this picture that Eric Bieniemy not only does nothing, but is not going to do a good job during his time in Washington. Anyway, he basically said he doesn't think EB has what it takes and is going to get exposed. And first off, in this particular segment of this god-awful show that he's in with Emmanuel Acho, he claims to know Eric Bieniemy better than most.
You know Eric Bieniemy better than most.
Yes, I do.
You know him really well.
Well, no, he does not know Eric Bieniemy better than most, and we're going to get into that later, but McCoy is either delusional or just straight up lying when he says that he knows Eric Bieniemy better than most after playing with the Chiefs for one season and only starting for roughly half of that season, getting benched after fumbling twice in games that resulted in losses, and then sat on the bench the rest of the season, in the postseason, and in the Super Bowl to collect a I got carried ring similar to Melvin Gordon this past season. But at least Melvin Gordon, instead of repeatedly throwing shade and pouting about it for years, well, I don't know if he's going to pout about it for years. I highly doubt he will. At least he admits the truth that he got carried.
You see the difference? Yeah. Oh, the difference is I didn't do shit. I got carried. I got carried, baby.
He's awesome for that, by the way. But anyway, back to McCoy, this dillweed, because when this video clip of their show surfaced about Eric Bieniemy, Shady then tweeted out saying, "I wish him well, but Washington, don't let the Chiefs' success or coaching titles fool y'all. The traits or skills you need to be a good coordinator, I have not seen or witnessed it." Well, bro, again, you were there for one freaking season. And this is what I tried to point out to Emmanuel. I want to be Skip Bayless so badly, Acho, when he said, quote, "This was insightful to listen to from someone who actually," with asterisks, I think that is a emphasis on actually. So who actually played under Andy Reid and Eric Bieniemy. This man is over here trying to make Shady McCoy be the spokesperson, get him qualified to be the spokesperson for Eric Bieniemy because he played under him for a wee bit of time, to which I actually responded, and he responded back. I'll get there. But I said this to Acho. I said, how many L takes can you have and still actually have a job? McCoy was on the team for like 3.5 minutes, yet players who were there for way longer, a longer period of time than him, Kelce, Hill, Matthew, etc., all vouch for EB. Matthew and Hill did so even after they had no reason to. They were not on the team any longer. Of course, Acho then tries to be funny, or he just is not bright enough to understand sarcasm as he takes my 3.5 minute remark literally, saying 3.5 minutes is a weird way to describe 4 touchdowns, 400 plus yards, and a Super Bowl ring was a hell of a 3.5 minutes, or was a hell of a 3.5 minutes. First off, he sat on the bench for that Super Bowl win, for that Super Bowl ring. Second, my response to Acho was, McCoy started 9 games for the Chiefs. Tyron was with Kansas City for 3 years, Tyreek for 5. Kelce has been around Eric Bieniemy for a freaking decade. Who you choose to believe is up to you. But you knew exactly what I meant when I said what I said. And of course, he didn't respond any further. I didn't necessarily expect to engage with this man on Twitter. I lost brain cells in doing so, but I live for the toxicity on Twitter. And to further prove my point, basically everyone that actually knows Eric Bieniemy and was with him for any stint of time said Shady McCoy was just flat out wrong. Both Jeff Allen, who played for the Chiefs for 6 seasons, and Charcandrick West, who played for the Chiefs for 4 or 5, said blue caps all over the place. Former Chief Khalil McKenzie Jr., who To be fair, only played for the Chiefs for a season, but he said this: be more like Melvin Gordon. LOL, you was in KC to get carried, not contribute. Your sensitive fine gotta be damn near enough to send all your followers to Cabo by now, my boy. Let it go, bucko. Ron Parker, we all know him, said, EB was a solid coach in the building my entire career at KC. I think it might be a little hate in here from bro. Jamaal Charles said, I have to disagree with you, Shady. Bieniemy coached me for years. I learned so many things from EB, and I still keep in contact with him. He's a great husband and father, and he deserves to be a head coach. Those are some strong words from Jamaal Charles, one of the greatest to play the game while wearing a red and yellow jersey. Tyrann Mathieu said, man, you effed up with it, to which Rashad Fenton even liked the tweet. Tyreek Hill found the take hilarious, posting laughing emojis, and then said, Shady mad EB told him to tuck that ball, because McCoy used to hold the ball like it was a carton of eggs or maybe a duck by the neck. Like, he just holds it very odd. And it was a very stressful time. And then Josh Gordon even responded to Tyreek's tweet with a laugh of his own about what Tyreek said. And to take it a step further, Andy Reid spoke up last year on McCoy's criticism of EB, saying, I'm a big LeSean fan, but he wasn't the youngest pup in the kennel here. He was on the backside of his career, and sometimes that's hard to take. And then Travis Kelce did as well, again, last year, saying, I know I have a great relationship with Bieniemy. I have even butted heads with him, but at the same time, I know what he's about. That guy is working hard for the whole of the team and making sure that everybody is accountable. On top of that, he's just a passionate guy. He's a competitor, one of the best competitors that I've ever met because of how hard he works and how much attention to detail he has. And some of you may be saying, well, Cole, why do you care what Coach Reid and Travis Kelce said last year about Bieniemy in regards to Shady McCoy? It's because Shady McCoy has some weird infatuation with Eric Bieniemy and doing what he can to discredit him, to say he's not this, he's not that. And I don't know why, other than he did not get along with him in his time here in Kansas City. Maybe EB did really yell at him and call him an idiot, told him to hold on to the ball correctly, because he did not. So there is some bit of Shady that is no doubt upset or offended and is holding on to grudges from his time here in Kansas City. Again, a short time, even though he claims to know him so well and hasn't been around him in almost 4 years. But I digress about that. Just know this: there's something wrong with LeSean McCoy, and he really does not like Eric Bieniemy. So in summary, while McCoy was trying to discredit and say Eric Bieniemy was the one that's going to get exposed during his time in Washington, basically this man got exposed. This take was so bad, he makes Russell Wilson's season last year look absolutely fantastic. He makes Skip Bayless not seem senile and actually sane. He makes Whataburger taste better than Sonic. He makes Bart Scott almost look like a genius. Okay, I can't even pretend with that one. Bart Scott is an absolute idiot as well. So there you have it. You guys got to let me know your thoughts in the comments about all of this, because it seems to me McCoy got benched and is just not a fan of EB. And to be clear, I'm not necessarily saying EB is going to go to Washington and then go win the Super Bowl and change everything around that entire team. They have their own issues, especially with ownership. They're probably going to sell that team. But to discredit EB because Andy Reid called the plays and basically say he doesn't deserve a chance at head coach and he's going to get exposed and not do well, when, dude, Matt Nagy, Doug Peterson, so many people under Andy Reid's coaching tree has gone out. They've been successful, or at least been given the chance to be successful. So let me know your thoughts on all this in the comments down below. And after talking about all this with LeSean McCoy, I got one positive message to take away from all of this, and that is, do not do drugs. They are really bad for you. And until next time, let's go. Let's freaking go. How about those